Members of the ruling class who voted for Donald Trump to deliver tax cuts and white supremacy are looking at their stock portfolios today and muttering to themselves, not like this, not like this. The global economy is on the verge of catastrophe after President Trump imposed steep tariffs on practically everybody. A baseline 10% tax will now be placed on all goods imported to the U.S., the cost of which will be passed on to consumers in price increases. The White House also ordered a 25% tariff on all foreign auto imports, which will also cripple domestic car makers who source parts from out of the country, leading again to higher prices. And additional tariffs were placed on countries that the president deemed are bad actors in their trading relationship with the U.S. That includes a new 34% tax on Chinese imports. That's in addition to the 20% levy already in place, bringing the total tariff to 54%. There's a 46% tariff on Vietnam, 49% on Cambodia, 37% on Bangladesh, 25% on South Korea, 24% on Japan, and 20% on the European Union. Practically every business interest group out there slammed the president's decision. And here's how the finance heads at CNBC reacted to the tariff news yesterday, if you want to gauge the response from the capitalist class.
Market reaction after hours, I've never seen anything like it. This, I think fair to say, is worse than the worst case scenario of the tariffs that many in the market expected the president to impose.
Worse than the worst case scenario. Sounds bad. Trump even imposed a 10% tariff on the herd in McDonald Islands, an uninhabited territory between Australia and Antarctica that's home to thousands of penguins, who right now are probably like, what the fuck? Then again, they don't import anything to the US, so they don't care. They're just worried about finding fish to eat. We should all be so lucky. Now, typically, we'd welcome things that capitalists are panicking over. But in this case, workers stand to suffer the most. Already, several countries are vowing retaliation and banding together to weather the economic damage. Other nations are promising domestic support to industries affected in the trade war, something Americans likely can't rely on from their own government. The European Union said it has a retaliatory plan in place. The economic bloc is the largest buyer of U.S. goods in the world and could strike back at the U.S. tech industry in response to Trump's tariffs. China, South Korea, and Japan are reportedly joining together and will impose their own retaliatory measures against the U.S. in unison, strengthening cooperation in Asia and increasing China's influence. President Trump's stated goal in upending global trade is to rebuild the U.S. manufacturing base, which is a noble endeavor. Like with a lot of stuff Trump does, there's a kernel of truth motivating it. The global trade system constructed by transnational corporations is shit and largely bad for the working class, and it's why labor unions like the UAW have endorsed more tariffs. But transitioning from a finance, service, and war economy back to a manufacturing one is something that will take decades and require extensive economic planning and government support for domestic industries and workers, something the Trump administration and conservatives are unwilling to embark on. In fact, they're doing the opposite. By attacking unions, they're lowering the quality of life for workers who are about to get screwed in this trade war. I mean, it's not even clear that Trump is all that interested in actually bringing back manufacturing, as much as he just wants to threaten other countries and industries in hopes that he can extract concessions from them and grant carve-outs. In fact, the oil and gas industry and the pharmaceutical industry have already received exemptions in this latest round of tariffs. Trump loves being lobbied and demanding loyalty, and he's willing to tank the global economy to receive it. In the short term, this trade war will bring a lot of pain. A recession is now likely, prices will go up, companies will shut down, lay off workers, and wages will go down. And all that stuff makes it less likely that in the long term, if we ever get there, that manufacturing will ever return to the US. Trump's tariff policy is like pulling a gun and threatening to squeeze the trigger if you don't get what you want. Only the gun is pointed at your own damn head also. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.